Yes, that was clickbait, but don't go anywhere just yet. There's a reason for the clickbaitery title. And for those of you that are interested in owning a Christopher Ward Bel Canto, we'll be happy you stuck around. First of all, let me start off by saying this is not my watch, and that's why it's just hello, then goodbye for me. In an alternate universe, or maybe a few years from now when my kids are out of college, the Bel Canto and I, we may meet again. This is a local friend's beautiful Christopher Ward Bel Canto Verde. You know, verde, like the salsa, green salsa. But my local friend says he can't keep it. And as of July 2023, this watch is for sale. It's a shame because having this in mind, I'm trying to fight the urge of selling off several timepieces to snag this one. But I'm gonna fight off that feeling so I can continue to produce YouTube videos and reviews for all of you at home. Yes, you're welcome for my sacrifice. But I must say, I'm truly excited that I have one of these Bel Cantos in hand, and I'm grateful to my friend Mike for letting me make this video for him, so thank you, Mike. Just so you know, Mike is not your ordinary watch flipper. Matter of fact, he doesn't flip or even sell his watches, typically. Admittedly, he is also the person that let me hold my first Moser, which is a spectacular timepiece to say the least. Mike is a blackjack dealer at one of our local casinos, and he specifically bought this Bel Canto so he can wear it on shift. I guess wearing a $4,000 Bel Canto makes more sense than a $20,000 Moser. You definitely don't want your players knowing that you are literally crushing their dreams and souls every single night. As you can imagine, this watch isn't the easiest to see the time or hear the chime when you're under those bright casino lights at night. At the tables, he's prohibited from carrying any electronic devices as a dealer, so he usually relies on a SIN 105 or his Glashuta CQ to tell the time. But the Bel Canto was supposed to be his new timepiece for work. But since it's not usable in its intended purpose, he finds himself not wearing the watch and wants to move it along to somebody who will really enjoy it. So I'm trying to get my kids not to go to college at this moment, and in case I'm not successful and you are interested in this watch, wait till the end and I'll let you know how I will connect you and Mike together via email, and I'll let you two discuss the Bel Canto from there. I don't want you to look at this video as an actual review. There are so many good review videos on the Bel Canto out on the interweb. Just look at it more as a first impression of the watch from a googly-eyed Christopher Ward fan and somebody who has had a couple of days with it. Naturally, when I knew I was going to be able to have this watch in hand, I had very high expectations, and once I had it in hand, it did not disappoint. However, there are a few questions I have as a Christopher Ward fanboy. For one, where's the light catcher case? The case on the Bel Canto is pretty, understated, but I'm assuming that's for a reason. I think it's to make sure that you're not spending all your time looking at this case, but gazing for an extremely long period of time at the dial. Oh, the dial. This damn dial. Okay, before I move along, we should look at the dimensions on the Bel Canto. The case is 41 millimeters, the lug width is 22 millimeters, and the lug to lug is 47.7 with dramatically turned down lugs. And on the bracelet, without any links removed, is only 113 grams. Remember, this beauty is in full 5-grade titanium. The thickness of the case would be my only gripe. The case is about 13.1 millimeters thick. And for a sport type of watch, it's not that bad at all, but come on, look at the watch. There's so many unique pieces and components in this watch, you have to give it a pass. By the way, have you seen the dial? Oh, jeez, this dial. My goodness, this dial. And same goes for the case back. Where's the sapphire crystal exhibition case back? I want to see what's powering this beautiful beast. But then again, yeah, flip it back over and look at that dial. Oh, this dial. That damn dial. All right, typical Christopher Ward bracelet. Quick release pins for an easy strap change, double deployment buckle, under the buckle quick adjust for the bracelet, blah, blah, blah. Male end links and also tapers down from 22 millimeters down to 16 millimeters of the bracelet. Very Rolex-esque. Nice, but boring. But have you looked at the dial? Oh my God, the dial. All right, let's face it. If you're paying over $4,000 for this watch, you're not buying it for the case. You're not buying it because it's full titanium with beautiful chamfering and polished facets. You'd just rather buy a Tudor Pelagos. You're not buying it for the case back, so you can see the Sellita SW200 with the new FS01 module movement on top. You're not buying it for the boring but very well made and spec'd bracelet. It's the dial. So fine, let's go focus on the damn dial. Oh, this dial. I'm not sure there's anything that I can say that hasn't been already said about the Christopher Ward Bel Canto. But first impressions do matter. And so when I laid my eyes on this dreamy dial, I was like, well, for lack of better words, mesmerized. Looking at all the gears, imagining the engineering that must have gone into making this timepiece, it's pretty mind-blowing. And it seems to me it's just a simple complication, yet the way that it was done and the curvature of this ringing mechanism is just mind-blowing. Do you know what else is mind-blowing? My vocabulary, obviously. It's so vast and deep, as you can all tell. Let me mention the beautiful gradient effect of the dial itself, and let's just take a moment of silence and just observe its beauty. Okay, so I understand why Mike could not use this watch at work. I understand why he's willing to part ways with it. Time telling with the Bel Canto is not an easy feat. You can see the 5-minute markers pretty easily. They're even loomed. Beautifully, I should note. But that's not why you buy the Bel Canto. Not to tell time. Who really cares what time it is when you're wearing this watch? To be honest, when I look at the dial, I just stare at it. I really don't even care what time it is. If you're looking down at the watch to trying to catch what time it is quickly, you should just go ahead and buy a black dial diver with white hands. The Bel Canto, it's not that kind of watch. You get stuck looking at all the gears, all the gadgetry. And then you start to think, did I just spend the last 15 seconds looking at this thing? I still didn't even register what time it is in my head. Did that just happen? It's not like you cannot tell the time. I think if I made a conscious effort and looked at my wrist and asked, what time is it? I could give you an answer pretty quickly. I mean, I guess if you force me, I can look at the subdial and tell you what time it is, but the Bel Canto doesn't work that way. You look at the dial and then, oh man, this dial, this damn dial. And boom, there goes 15 seconds. Okay, before I go any further, we have to take a moment and listen to the chime. You got to click the button to disengage and re-engage it, and that's the timing mechanism on the right-hand side, and that's below the non-screw-down crown. I know every other video will show you such a better review on the hows and whys. I'm just going to cut to the chase, and I'm just going to show you the chime so you and I can have some wristwatch porn together. Yeah, it's pretty gross, but let's do it. So what are my first impressions? Well, I'm pretty awestruck. Yes, if you threw a black dial with sword hands, luminous markers on this titanium case with this titanium bracelet, I would say, well, that's a nice Christopher Ward watch. But that's not what the Bel Canto is. And all I can do is sit here kind of polarized and suspended in animation and just stare at the dial. This damn dial, it is so beautiful. So I'm going to tell you this. Unless you're watching this first impressions video within the first couple weeks of me releasing it, chances are this watch is on its way to a new home already. These watches are in very high demand, extremely coveted, and I've only seen one hit the secondary market over the last couple of months, and I may have seen it for a split second, then it disappeared. I found one today on a UK dealer website for £6,000, which is $7,700 at current exchange rate at the time of filming. When Mike sells this watch, he's going to let me know. So I'm going to pin a comment down below that it's sold, FYI, just so you all know that. But if you are interested in this watch, I will tell you it's in wonderful, almost new condition, comes with a full kit, purchase receipt, and even this beautiful matching green Christopher Ward leather strap that was an extra purchase that matches perfectly with this watch. The bracelet was never sized, and it even still has the plastic over the buckle. And it's coming from a really nice guy and watch enthusiast that I know. And he's not asking an unreasonable amount. He understands that this watch is demanding a premium, but he is not out to gauge other watch enthusiasts, like some flippers or dealers out there. He himself is a watch enthusiast, and he attends the Red Bar events here locally in my area. So if you're interested, shoot me an email at 3handhunter@gmail.com. And by the way, while you're at it, if you like my videos and you like this content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That's free to do. I'd really enjoy that, and I think you'll enjoy some of the watches that I have coming out your way, like the one that's on my wrist. Also, if you're ever interested in collaborating or just chatting with another watch enthusiast, i.e. myself, shoot me an email. I'm always happy to chit chat with other watch peeps too. And let me say, if you made it this far, let me introduce myself. My name is Blake. I'm a bit of a watchaholic, and if you made it this far, I'm gonna assume that you are a watchaholic too. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I know it's valuable to you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.